What is up, everybody? Happy Monday and welcome back to Dear Spirit Podcast. I hope everybody enjoyed their week. We are back at it again with another episode. But before we get into that, I want to talk about last week. I recorded the Dreams episode and I read a channel message from Ascended Master Saint Germain, of course. I had a dream that night after I uploaded that episode. And this dream has really been bothering me up until yesterday. So I did want to share it on Facebook or Instagram, but for some reason I didn't. So I want to share it with you guys. If you have any inputs or whatever, be sure to share them on Facebook. I'm just super curious to know. So anywho, I can remember a snippet of my dream. Ascended Master Saint Germain appeared to me and he said, I am everything and I am nothing. But he said it in such a way where I understood he was talking about himself, but his words also felt like a mirror for me. I have been trying to figure that dream out for a couple of days. So, of course, like anybody, I went to Google, just going to town, driving myself crazy. And I came across something I thought was very beautiful and poetic. It's very short. It comes from the book I Am That was written in 1973 by a man, Nazaragata. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. I'm not going to butcher it at all, but if it sounds interesting to you, you know where I got it from. And he says in the book, love says, I am everything. Wisdom says, I am nothing. Between the two, my life flows. I thought that was just so beautifully said. But, I really wasn't sure if that was it. So before I recorded this episode, I was like, you know what? I'm going to sit down and go to the source. So I sat and channeled Ascended Master Saint Germain. And once I was done with the transmission, I kind of forgot what the heck he said. So but I do understand the gist of it. So when he said, I am everything, he was pretty much talking about energy, the energy that flows within the body and throughout the universe. And then when he said, I am nothing, I do remember that part. He said, I am nothing gives you the opportunity to learn everything. Discover love. I'm like, oh, okay. All week I've been making this complex understanding of what he said, and that was really simple. So I thought that was cool. So now we are going to switch gears just a little bit. This week I did not know what to talk about. I was like, oh my God, this is really bad. It's only episode 3. But, I do have a lot of stuff I want to share with you guys. And I have a lot of stuff that's already written down, but I just felt like it wasn't the right timing. And I've been hearing that I should talk about forgiveness. And, I was just like rationalizing it internally. Like, I don't think anybody wants to hear about that. Maybe I can find something more interesting to talk about. I really don't want to offend anybody. That's definitely not my intentions. So I just was noticing how I kept coming up with excuses and dancing around the topic. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to talk about it. Because if I'm so resistant to utter the words about forgiveness, I know there might be many people out there who are resistant to the act. So that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we get into that, I want to do a card pull just to see what needs to come to the surface for this episode. So for the card pull, I pulled from my favorite deck of all times. And just like the first episode, I got several cards. So I'm going to read them all. I don't want to miss a thing. I'm going to read directly from the book. So the first card to pop out was 6th Chakra Archangel Metatron. Hi, buddy. So let's see what he has to say. So this card is about clarity of thought and personal vision. This very powerful Archangel Metatron brings brilliant indigo vibrations to your brow chakra, which is the center devoted to insight and clear thought. When this card appears upright, it indicates a much greater clarity in your thought process and an expanded perspective towards broader horizons. Some new perceptions are taking hold, and the clouds of confusion are clearing. In some ways, this could be a new beginning, for you're on your way to developing a deeper insight about what's going on in your life and why. Now is the time to focus on your personal vision. What do you want your life to look like in the years ahead? Create a clear picture of that and support it with your daily thoughts. The insight you need to create a new vibrant life is available to you now. So this next card, I knew I was going to pull it because when I was going over in my head about the episode on forgiveness, I saw this card come up in my third eye. And that also let me know what deck I was going to pull from for the episode. This card is the Healer of the Ages. It's all about health and vitality. This powerful being brings the force of ancient wisdom and profound healing. The light of divine consciousness pours from his hands and heart, flowing to you with love and a powerful healing intention. This amazing entity is with you now, bringing resolution to physical, mental, and emotional ills, helping you unblock stuck energy and revitalize your life force. You may have felt this strong presence recently, or you may just be opening to the wonderful sensation now. You can call upon this emissary of miraculous transformation whenever you need vitality, balance, or renewal. Know that at the deepest level, an important healing is taking place. It's really beautiful. I was not expecting this card, but I could see why. So this card is Door to Romance, New Beginnings in Love. Whether you're looking for a new relationship or just more love in the relationship you're in, this door with the heart opens onto a new beginning in your experience. A new love may be arriving and you are being brought together by a strong resonant connection. This may be a call from a past life, or it may be a new tenderness about to bloom into heartfelt affection. This relationship already exists in energetic potential. So when this card appears in your spread, make sure you are projecting the kind of self-loving energy that you want to receive from others. Be aware that the universe returns your self-caring treatment to you. It's ready to open that door. Are you? So I kind of understand why we saw that card, because maybe somebody we need to forgive or be open to the idea. It could be from a past romantic relationship, marriage, or something like that. So that one was pretty cool. The last card is the Sun. So let's see what that is about. New beginnings and great creativity. The card brings blessings to the earth, and this card portends blessings in your own life as well. Just as the sun nurtures the earth, bringing new life in the spring and summer, this is your time for a new beginning, the onset of a nurturing new light in your life, the divine inspiration and personal growth. This card often brings a time of great creativity, bringing the culmination of an important new project, such as the birth of a baby, or the writing or publication of a book, or even the birth of a new you. For some reason, I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Sometimes I break into song. Now is the time to put your energy into expressing your truth and vision. Visualize the light of divine love pouring into your heart and mind like the rays of the sun, bringing inspiration, growth, and abundant blessings. See the future you want to create and know the sun is shining on your intentions now. So let's get into the episode about freedom through forgiveness. So last week I had the opportunity to forgive again. And I say the opportunity because it really boils down to a choice, a decision. No matter the experience, we don't have to be victims of our experiences or the way we tell our stories. We create the stories and can change them. That is a quote by Sammy Rangel. So this opportunity was a time to reminisce on a story, not from a place of anger or hatred, but from a place of love. So this is about me and someone I call my best friend in the whole wide world. We were so close, a lot of people thought we were lesbians. So that lets you know right there how close we were. And like many people do who have close relationships with someone, you have fallen outs and arguments. But we had one argument that was basically irreparable. I can't even remember what really started the argument, but I do remember jabs being hit below the belt on both ends. We really went there like shit talking about family and everything that would really push each other buttons like to the max. And that resulted in a lot of my personal business being put on social media, and that's probably why I don't too much care about social media like that, But anywho, that whole experience was super embarrassing and heartbreaking for me, especially like it was things being put online talking about my daughter and stuff like that. And I just feel like if you're going to talk about somebody else's kids, that's super, 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 such a low blow. But anyways, I'm pretty sure she was acting in that way because I did something that really hurt her. But like anybody, of course, I was pissed off. I wanted revenge. I was thinking about ways I could come up that would destroy her, or if I couldn't get to her, I wanted to target somebody as close as possible to make her feel as shitty, or if not worse. I think the goal back then was to make her feel worse than I did. I would literally replay scenarios in my head of what I was going to do. And for some people who know me, that might be hard to hear. A lot of people can't imagine me doing something like that. But at that time, it's funny now, but at that time, that's where my head was at. I wanted to get my lick back. I was out for blood. So I know if I would have went the way I was going, I would say I was going to go to jail, because that's how bad I wanted revenge. Looking back on it now, it wasn't even worth that kind of energy. So, but I was blinded by rage, I guess. So, out of everything that I have been through, that experience really took a toll on me. It seems superficial, but it affected my relationships with people, trust. I didn't like sharing a lot of information about myself with anyone. People would want to hang out with me outside of work or school, and I would make up some convenient lie because I just didn't want to let people in and have to deal with that kind of heartbreak again. And I wouldn't even let people come to my house. And in the midst of me and my old friends' beef, or whatever you want to call it, I did feel like crap. I was so hurt and desperate for anything. I remember lying down before bed and hearing "pray and forgive her." And I remember thinking, like, this is the stupidest shit I ever heard. I don't want to do that. But I was like so desperate and really was out of options. I'm like, well, if I do it, I'm gonna go to jail. So I did just that. I prayed and forgave her, and I did it several times until it just felt right to me. And then weeks later, then I was writing letters of everything I wished to say and get out and burning them. And I remember after releasing all of that hatred and stuff, feeling so much lighter and so good. I was like, damn, why didn't I do this sooner? I was really able to witness for myself the power of forgiveness, how potent it can be. And now I understand that even though we put distance between ourselves and the other person, we can still be connected through trauma. And through those experiences, we may feel powerless, but we have the choice to take our power back and rewrite our stories. When it comes to forgiveness, we get the chance to have a peace of mind and free ourselves in addition to the other person. For some people, it may take years to get there. Maybe you have to go through some therapy, counseling, rebuilding your self-esteem, and so much more. But I do believe all of us can get to the other side of any situation because we are amazingly beautiful and fucking magnificent beings. Me and my friend were texting the other day about Christ consciousness or channeling, something along those lines. And I remember after the conversation ended, me getting a download of a road. And on this road, there were huge blocks, big areas of construction. There were boulders on the road. In certain areas, there were holes in the ground. And I understood that as our traumas, fears, or limitations we place on ourselves. But at the end of the road, it was cool. There was the awareness or presence of love. But in order to get there, it was obvious that there needed to be fixings of the road. So by looking at the past or present and facing some of our wounds or whatever may appear and taking the necessary steps to facilitate healing for yourself, we'll be able to get to the end of that road. That's kind of what I took from that vision. So, I whipped out my paper and pencil and I made these stick figures because I really thought that was such a beautiful message and I wanted to make sure that I remembered it. For me this week, my road looked like forgiving again. Even though I thought I forgave in the past, I never mustered up the courage to say anything when she would try to connect with me. And it's been almost 12 years. And this week, or last week I should say, I finally did, and I wish her the absolute best. I learned a lot about my own character flaws, my own shit, and accepting myself no matter what. And really, most importantly, what beautiful, healthy friendships look like. So I believe that is all I have for today. If you guys want to know more about me, you can follow me on Facebook or Instagram at Sabrina Darling. I also will be posting more free events on Eventbrite, as well as my workshop if you're interested in becoming a energy facilitator or healer. I will have more information about that in the show notes. Until next time, guys, peace and light.